Please take your seats quickly, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you.
Hi guys, and welcome to 1minutetennis.com. In today's session, I want to talk to you about how we see a tennis ball. I want to explain what binocular, monocular, and peripheral vision are. And when we understand the differences between them, we can use our strokes and our technique in a more efficient way to create a perfect contact point, reduce errors, and hit with more power. So every day of your life, you will be switching between binocular, monocular, and peripheral vision. We use them all of the time, but we need to have an understanding of what they really are if we're going to actually apply them to make better and more consistent ground strokes. So binocular vision is when both of my eyes can see an object with clarity. So if my hands are out here, I can see both of them with both eyes. If I close one eye, I can still see both hands. If I close the other eye, I can still see both hands. So this is binocular vision. If I make them wider and now close this eye, I'm still just at the edge of binocular vision. I can see them both. If I make them wider, now I couldn't see my left hand when I closed my left eye. I couldn't see my right hand when I closed my right eye. So now I'm seeing these hands in monocular vision, where only one eye is actually seeing the object. Binocular, monocular. Now if I keep going out here, I can see them both, but they're not with any clarity. This means that I'm in peripheral vision, right at the edge of my eyesight. I'm in monocular peripheral vision. We'll never be in peripheral vision with binocular viewing, because if both eyes can reach the object, then we cannot be in peripheral vision. One of the eyes will be able to achieve focus. So how does this apply to tennis? We want to apply binocular vision every time we can when hitting the ball. The reason for this is that the two eyes working together give you a depth perception. I can see the depth and speed of an oncoming object when I'm using the two eyes. When I close one eye, I'm now in two dimensions, and so judging depth and speed is very, very difficult. Almost every player watching this will have encountered a situation where the ball's pretty slow. It's pretty easy, but then suddenly, it's upon you almost immediately. Where did it come from? Why did you lose sight of the ball? And almost certainly you were watching the ball in monocular rather than binocular vision. If you can avoid that and watch the ball with both eyes, then you'll never have the situation where the ball suddenly appears out of nowhere when you're not ready or prepared sufficiently. And to apply binocular vision into your ground strokes on a consistent basis, you have to make a relationship between your technique and the contact point. Let me show you what I mean, and let's take two examples. Roger Federer. Now, we know that Roger Federer had his head down like this. And so because his head was down, then the span of his binocular vision is very, very, very late. It can be out here. I can see with both eyes. Remember, the way of testing this is I close the eye on the left if I'm looking to my left, and if I can still see the object, then I'm actually in binocular vision. So now I'm going to move further back here, close my right eye, and that's the span of my binocular vision, from here to here. So in Federer's case, as long as the ball is in that area here, then he's going to be in binocular vision. But that's because his head comes down to contact point. What about players like Serena Williams, Novak Djokovic, Yannick Sinner, and their head stays up at contact point, so they're not looking here. And that means that the binocular vision is going to be further in front. So if I look to this point here, which is pretty much where Novak and Sinner look, and now apply the same test that I just did. I'll span my arm and the racket, and now I close my right eye, and I cannot see the racket. So the contact point that Federer had and the contact point that Novak has to be different, because Novak's binocular vision, his spatial awareness, is further in front. And so consequently, he needs to make contact just very slightly further in front. Remember, we're talking about inches or centimeters here, but tennis is a game of inches, and it makes all the difference if I'm out of contact here with a bad contact point and I'm late for the ball to the result down the other end of the court. So now if you understand the concept of binocular vision and you understand how to test where binocular vision will apply for you, then go through your stroke and hold your head where you would naturally freeze There's no right or wrong here, right? Novak is here. He's a pretty good player. Roger was here. He's a pretty good player. Sinner is here. Carlos Alcaraz is here. There's no right or wrong. Just do what is natural for you. Once you've found that position, then freeze your head in that position and do the test for binocular and monocular vision with the span of your arms here, and see whether, when you close your eyes, what point does the racket disappear. When I close my right eye, and the racket has just disappeared, and now it's in sight, and now it's disappeared, and now I'm going to open my eyes and check that contact point there. And this becomes the absolute limit of how late I can play the ball and still have a depth perceptive view of the oncoming ball. Now I want to practice and make a relationship between that contact point and the stroke that I'm actually playing. And a good way of doing this is to make a cross-reference to the ground. And now I want to find my binocular vision reference point, my spatial awareness reference point. And to do this, I'm going to be aware of where I hit the ball and leave my head fixed to the point where I hit the ball and look at the ground and make a reference to the ground. And that becomes my binocular vision reference point. I place the ball on the court as a reference for my binocular vision contact point. And as long as I can see that ball after contact, then my contact point with the ball has to be in three-dimensional depth perceptive vision. So I now know that my depth perception is going to be excellent because I can see the binocular vision contact point. And now every time I hit the ball, I'm going to leave my head down and check if I've got the binocular vision reference point clearly in sight. If I have, then I'm marrying my contact point with the position of my head, which is going to employ binocular vision. I'm then going to have better depth perception. I'm going to make better contact with the ball. I'm going to hit more consistently and more powerfully. If you like my ideas on tennis, check out our books on Amazon. We have books on every aspect of the game, and they're totally unique because, as well as great illustrations and very clear explanations, everything is linked to YouTube videos. So you can see the explanations, you can read the explanations, you can view the explanations, and you can apply the results. Or join players in over 40 countries that I'm helping all over the world with a one-to-one coaching service. For more information on either, check out the website or email me. This isn't the simplest of subjects, and I've often seen it explained in different ways, but when you can understand and apply binocular vision to your ground strokes, you'll have more consistency, more power, you'll simply play better tennis. Thanks for watching, and see you next time for more unique tennis lessons that really work.